was just like, okay, get the fuck away from me. Get away from me right now. Like, for I call the cops. Get away from me. Like, so y'all, so I got a little story time for y'all, you know, work story time that I've been talking about. Basically, it was like the worst coworker I ever had, because the job itself wasn't really bad. It was the person that was there. She, if she ever see this, you're an L, you're a bitch. I don't like you. Like, no, for real though. But I'm trying to get myself comfortable, but I'm not really getting comfortable. Like, I don't know. But basically, if you know me, I am a dental assistant, and I went to school for, I think, about 12 months. And I went to school for 12 months. And my last 2 months of being in school, I had to work at like a, excuse little dude, he's talking. He's talking. But I, like, the last 2 months of working, I had to work for free at 2 different dental offices. I really was at 3, but the third place didn't want me because I was pregnant. Like, stupid stuff. So I was in school. I finished. I graduated in November, and once I had graduated, I had my baby, like, I think about like 2 weeks after I had graduated. And after that, I just took off for like 3 months, and then I was ready to jump back into it and just start working. So I had finally got an interview at a place. And I ain't gonna lie, it was not the first place that I would have thought to work at, honestly. It wasn't really what I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to be in like general dentistry, but an oral surgeon place called me for an interview, and I was just like, sure. So I went to that interview like February 5th, and when I went, I was dressed nice, had my stuff together, and I was in there like practicing what I was gonna say like the whole time walking up to the door. Finally got in there, sat down in the chair, brain went blank. Like, you know how they ask you the questions of like, what's your greatest asset and all of that? Like, she asked me, and I was going, and then it was just like, it's like, and then once you freeze, you kind of just get a little discouraged, and then it was over with from there. Like, I just forgot everything that I just practiced, and I just was sitting there like, I am so sorry. I was like, I am so sorry. Like, this is not me. Like, I swear I'll be better. I apologize and everything. And then she had brought the other 2 doctors in, and they talked to me. They were some nice looking men. they was good looking. They was good. I get at it. And they were actually pretty nice people for the most part. And she kind of like walked me around the place or whatever. And then, you know, I had left for my interview. I only seen 2 Black people there. Everybody else in there was white. Like, even the doctors, everybody was white. Except for the 2 that were there. So I was kind of just like, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'm a Black person. I get a little uncomfortable when it's not that many of us in an environment. Like, I don't know. That's just me. I just kind of get a little uncomfortable when it's just like one Black person in the whole building type thing. Like, I don't know. It was kind of weird. But anyway, I left from that interview, and I did not hear from these folks till like, and what's crazy is at the interview, she told me she was gonna call me like later that week. I never got a call. Of course, I had called them like twice, kind of just asking like on the status of like my interview, like, are y'all hiring me or not? Like, you know what I'm saying? You taking me or you ain't taking me type thing. So they wound up calling me in for like a half a working day, and I think that was like on the 20th. So I came in for like that half a working day, and the 2 Black girls were still there. So I was just like, okay, cool. So I talked to one of the Black girls for a little bit, and she was okay. Like, I asked her how she liked the place, and it was just kind of like, it's okay. And then so I had kind of spoke to everybody, and everybody was pretty decent at the time. Didn't really have a problem with nobody. So it was the 2 Black girls, and then it was 2 white girls and 1 Mexican girl. So it was It was H, it was M, and it was V, and then the other girl was K. But I was there for that half a working day, and then, you know, I left, told my mom, like, yeah, it was cool, you know, I enjoyed it, I had fun, whoop the whoop. I think it was probably about like 2-3 days in where I kind of like realized that M girl, I was not gonna like her. Like, I had already determined after like day 3, she was done. Like, it was over with. It was just the way that M would like talk to people. She was like real bossy and like, do this, do that, do it this way, do it that way. Like, she was like, she just, if you didn't do it her way, she didn't like it at all. And she was just like really kind of like aggravating and always kind of like on somebody, and it was annoying. And like the first time we actually like really got into it, it was like so stupid. Like, I think this was like about after a week of me working, I think maybe 2 weeks, but it wasn't that long into me working. And kind of noticed like little things that she would do, like little petty things. Like, you could tell me if I'm tripping in the comments, but it was like little things that she would do that just kind of struck me as kind of like weird. Like, what's your point of saying that? Like, what you trying to say? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was one of them. So one day we were, it was me, V, and I think H. We was all kind of standing like by like the break room. And like, we were standing between the break room and the lab. So basically, let me tell the setup, because I don't even think I said that. So basically, you would go through some doors, and you just walking through the front. Like, you just walking through the front of the building. You'll walk into some doors, and then there'll be another door that you're going to, and then you'll be in the lobby. To the left side, it'll be like a little window screen or whatever, and you'll be able to see like the office area. If you go past the doors, it'll be like a door that you go past. It'll be like the office to the left. It'll be like the x-ray room and like two little like rooms where they would take people for like post-ops and stuff like that. Like, when they were done with either when they were done with their procedures and they was coming back for a checkup, or people who were coming in to get seen, a consultation, they were coming to be seen before they did a procedure. They would be in the front. So once you go, that's all to the left. And then when you go to the right, you'll walk through a little skinny hallway, and then to the left will be the break room, and then to the right will be the lab, and then like right in front of you, it will be 4 rooms. So me, V, I think it was me, V, and H, we was kind of standing like in between like that lab and that break room area, and we was just like standing there. And I was just like, dang, it's like real cold. Like, it's extra cold up in here. Like, golly. So I asked V if she was cold, and she was like a little bit, but not too much. Then, you know, she was just like, it's all right. So then here come M. Like, I'm not even talking to this girl. Here come M. Oh, it's not that cold. Who was talking to you? Who was I talking to? I was talking to you. Where'd she come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even talking to her. So I was just like, you know, yeah, it is cold. You know what I'm saying? It is. Like, how you gonna tell me what temperature I feel? Like, what the? So she was just like, it is not cold in here. Okay, so that was that. We get to lunch, and we all kind of just like sit in the break room. Mind you, the break room little, like, come on now, like this is how big the table was, cause like as big as this tablet was how big the table was. I'm being dramatic, but the break room was not that big. Like, we had a little table, and then like the break room, and then like a little fridge or whatever. So like, we sitting in the break room, we all sitting at this little old table, and I was sitting there chilling, eating my food, you know, had my AirPod in, like watching YouTube, minding my business, and I hear this girl say, I don't even know how the conversation started, because mind you, I don't even be paying attention to what they be talking about, because they be talking about some stuff that I'm not even into. They be talking about tans and Botox and what am I talking about a tan for? You know what I'm saying? Like, they conversations just really, I couldn't relate to nothing that they would be talking about. So I wasn't listening to their conversation till I heard M She was just like, and I can't stand when people who work back here say that it's cold. Like, it's not even cold. Like, girl, shut up. If you're not working hard, just say that. You do not understand how quick I wanted to turn my head and say, bitch. Like, I just wanted to turn my head like, who are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then it was just like, it's almost as if, like, because I was the only person earlier today that said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't hear nobody else say that. Now, if somebody else did say that it was cold, then okay. But, you know what I'm saying? I didn't hear nobody say that but me. So it's kind of like, what you trying to say? Like, what's up? Let me take this out. But yeah, it was like, who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, who you talking about? Say what's on your mind for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Speak up. Address me. Say it to me. Like, why you being petty? Like, I just feel like that was a petty slick shot. And it was just stuff like that she used to do. And then, like, the first time, like, we really got into it for real, that's when, like, problems really just kind of, like, arise. Like, just, like, after that, I felt like she just was doing petty stuff just on purpose for real then. Like, when we first got into it, it was just, like, a random day. Like, nobody, it just was a random working day. And I came in, good mood, whoop the whoop, everything was okay. And it's this thing that we have where you work 2 Wednesdays from like 7 to 4, and then the next 2 Wednesdays you'll get off early, so you'll work 7 to 12. So we would have to take turns, us as the dental assistants, which was 5 of us. We had to take turns because they let homegirl go. Like, it went from 3 black girls to 2. Like, they couldn't have too many up in there. So anyway, we had to be fair and rotate it between each other, rotate them 2 Wednesdays that we would get off early. Since it was 5 of us, it was kind of hard to do that. But I just seen M and like V, they was kind of like standing like at the counter, like by the lab, and M was going over the schedule. She seemed so lost while she was doing it. Like, when I tell you she was like all over the place with it, she was all over the place. And I just was like, yo, what is this girl doing? Like, she was just like, oh, I'm gonna put them here. No, I'm not gonna put them there. I'm gonna take them off. Wait, no, hold on, wait. I just did that. I gotta redo it. No, wait, I'm not gonna put them there. Like, are you cool? Do you got it or do you need help? Like, it was funny. So I was just like, dang, you lost, ain't it? Like, and I shouldn't have said that. See, I don't know if I said this already, but like, I didn't really talk to them like that. And I wasn't trying to be mean. I was trying to show like a little bit of my personality, like, joke around a little bit. Like, I wasn't trying to just always walk around not talking to nobody. So I just tried to joke a little bit, like, dang, you lost, ain't it? Like, how shaking or whatever. And then I laughed about it, and I walked off, and I went over to A, which was the other black girl. I went over to her, and, I laughed to her about it. And I was just like, man, what's the called over there? She don't know what she doing with this, because she over there lost, like. But it wasn't, I wasn't talking about her. Like, I was laughing when I said it. And that's when A was like, oh, she was like, and she was laughing too. She was like, let me go see. So I'm thinking it's all just like a hee ha ha thing, like a little joke. So then I walked off and went on about my day. And as I'm walking back up to the front towards the lab, I could hear little M talking about and she's talking about, I'm lost. Ain't nobody lost. I'm not lost. Here we go. M was a white woman, so she was a little in her feelings, and I kind of should have known. Like, she probably just was the type of person that even know what like chicken was. Like, she probably didn't even understand that it was a joke. Like, she a little lost in the sauce, So I just was like, man, all right. I was like, whatever. I'm just let it go. It is what it is, I'm not even about to do all that. So, as more of the day go by, I'm still hearing M I'm still hearing her like repeat that she think I'm lost, ain't nobody. Like, I'm still hearing that like throughout the day, and I'm just like, golly, let it go, relax, it's okay, like chill, it's okay. Like I'm just sitting here like it's not that serious, it's not that deep. Like, you don't have to do all that, for real. Like, if I upset you, I apologize, just come talk to me, we could talk about it and we could go from there. But the fact that she ain't say nothing to me, she was yapping to everybody else, and it just was like, dude, is it really that serious? So more of the day go by, I'm still hearing her talk, and I'm just like, bruh. So I started following around V, because mind you, I still just started working, so I didn't know the ropes of everything. So I was following V around, kind of like shadowing her. So as I'm following V around, we go back to V room, and V was just like, man, don't worry about her. Like, don't worry about M. She just a big old bully. Like, that's just how she is. You just gotta not mind her. Just don't pay attention to her. Ooh, bruh, you don't hear this? Like, she keep talking, and I was sitting there like, bro, I don't even do like the immaturity. Like, if she feels the type of way, why she can't just say nothing? Like, why she keep going around, constantly just yapping? Like, if you got a problem, just say it to me. And then V was like, nah, I understand that, but she was just like, don't say nothing to her, it's okay, don't worry. She was like, because I had the same situation happen with me with her. She was like, I don't really care for her either, but it is what it is. She was like, don't get into it with no female to lose your job. She was basically just like, it's not worth it. She was like, I get where you coming from, and I get that it's irritating, because when I tell you M was annoying, like, it wasn't just me, and I knew I wasn't tripping, because even V was telling me like, yeah, she be doing too much. So the fact that even V was telling me like, just don't pay attention to her, it's kind of just like crazy. Like, dang, what you mean don't pay attention to her? You don't see what she doing? So then here come M walking down the hall. She was like, oh, and by the way, L helped me. L was somebody that worked in the front office. She used to be a lead in the back, but she wanted to move into the front. So anyway, she was like, L helped me with the schedule, so I don't want to hear anybody else say that I'm lost. And then she walked off. And I was like, okay, good. And then I just was like, you see what I'm talking about? Like, what was the point of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just kind of like extra. So then me and V, we started working on a procedure with the doctor. And the doctor had asked me to take one of these tubes to the machine. It was like a blood machine where you would put blood in a tube and put it in a machine and it would spin. So I had took the blood to the machine, and this was my first time doing that. So I did not know that you had to click the button to start it. I just kind of thought you closed the machine and it started itself, because other things in the building did that. So I just kind of was using what I had already knew and just kind of assumed, which I should just ask, because M was standing right there. But mind you, she already was mad at me, so she just kind of was watching me. So I just closed the machine and went back to the procedure. And as I'm standing in the procedure with them, here come M walking almost like right behind me, maybe like 2 minutes after I came in there. Here she come. Oh, by the way, doctor, somebody didn't start the machine for you, but I did. I got it. And then she walked off. I was like, you bitch. You was standing there watching me. Why you didn't just say nothing then? And me, I thought I was doing right. And that's why I didn't ask. I thought I was doing right. She knew that I was doing wrong and basically let me do wrong and kept on, going. So I was just like, yeah, so she about to be with that petty stuff. Like, I'm just in my head thinking like, yeah, she doing the most. So after that, more of the day go by, I'm still hearing her say like this law stuff. So I'm walking towards like the front, back towards like the break room, and V and M was in the break room, and I'm getting ready to like walk in there, and I can hear M as like right before I walked in there, I could hear her saying, and she was talking about, I'm lost, look at this, see, and I got it done. She don't even know what she's talking about. I got it. And I walked up in there as she was in the middle of saying it, and I like kind of leaned against the counter, like, so I was like standing across from her, and I just was looking. And then she just like stopped talking and she went into the bathroom, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to say something to her. Like, I got to. So as she went in the bathroom, I was like, yeah, go ahead, bring your little white ass out here. Come on. So when she went into the bathroom, I kind of leaned against the counter and I waited, and I was kind of like contemplating in my head, because I was like, man, if I say something to her, it could go real bad, like I could get fired behind it. But I was just like, man, I'm not about to keep letting this girl constantly just keep talking, and I'm not about to say nothing to her. So I was gonna ask V to stay in there with me, but she had walked off and I didn't know where she had went. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna wait till the next person come up in here. And my point of doing that was somebody could be here as a witness. So M can't say that I said anything that I didn't. Like, you know, I had a witness, like I just said this and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. So one of the ladies from the front office had came back in there and I was like, hey, can you just stay in here real quick while I say what I gotta say? And she was like, yeah, what's wrong? And I was just like, ain't nothing wrong. I just need to say something real quick. So then M come out the bathroom and I was like, hey, M. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, hey, next time you got a problem, like, just say it to my face. You ain't got to do all that. And then she just got like hyped up. She was just like, I'm not the one that's mad. You the one who said that I was lost. Ain't nobody mad. And I'm not about to go back and forth with you. And I was just like, okay, I said what I had to say. That's it. And she was just like, I don't care. You're a little girl. I'm not going back and forth with you. And I'm just sitting here like, dude, okay. I said what I had to say. If you had a problem. And I said this. I was like, if you got a problem, then say that. And then that's when A was like, y'all need to close the door. Like, you know, don't be arguing out in the open. And I was like, ain't nobody arguing. I'm not back and forth with her. I already said what I had to say. And then that's when M was like, yeah, I'm not going back and forth with no little girl. I don't care. She's a little girl. Mind you, this girl, like, what, a year older than me? And you look like you're 40, but you only a year older than me. Come on now. Like, dude, you're not that grown, obviously. And you going back and forth with this little girl. So be for real. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. And then I told A, I was like, I already said what I had to say. And then that's when M gonna say something. I said what I had to say too. I don't care. Okay, great. Congrats. So I'm thinking that's the end of the conversation. Because like I said, I already said what I had to say, you know. But I said what I had to say and that was it. So maybe a little while later go by or whatever. And I'm thinking, you know, okay, whatever, the situation over with is handled. I'm still shadowing V. Like, I'm still, you know, walking around, like, kind of following her again to just everything from her or whatever. So V goes into the break room. And as V goes into the break room, M was already standing in there. M was already in the break room. And so V, like, stood next to her and was grabbing some medicine out of the medicine cabinet. It was, like, propofol. And I kind of was basically just like following behind her. Like I came behind her and like I said, M was standing by V. So I just kind of walked in there and as soon as I walked in there, here go M. I just can't do this. I can't do this. And she walked out. And so I just continued to stand next to V. And then V turned and she asked M like, what are you talking about? And then M, I seen her look at me and she just was like, I just can't do this. I can't. I'm not dealing with that. And I was like, fuck. So I decided to mock her. And I just was like, I just can't do this. I can't do it either. And so I just laughed about it. And then V was like, just don't pay attention to her. Just don't mind her. Don't just leave it alone. And I just was like, no, I mean, she want to be petty. I could be petty too. I mean, I thought the situation was done with, but clearly she's still going. So let's go. You want to play now? Let's play. So me and V start walking back towards her room, and then here come M. She gonna walk past me and walk next to V, and she gonna turn to V and say something. Were you the one who said that? Were you the one who was mocking me? And then I said, nah, it was me. Like I said it loud. I was like, it was me. She turned around and she was like, what is your problem? And I was like, you my problem. And then that's when V was like, yeah, I need to go in there. Go in the room and close the door. Like, go into my room and close the door. I sat up in there and I sat in the chair and I was just like, so what's up? And so here go M. She was just like, I don't know what your problem is with me, but we don't do that mocking stuff. We don't do that here. And I was like, well, if you would stop getting in your feelings about everything and being so immature. She was like, who's being immature? Ain't nobody immature. She was like, if anything, you're the immature one because you're childish and nobody likes you. You're annoying. You laugh too much at everything. You think everything is funny. And I was like, because everything is funny. The fuck? Everything is funny. But you funny. You funny looking too. Like, everything is funny. I'm not about to sit around and be mad all the time for what? Like, unlike you get in your feelings about everything. I was like, so you about to sit down and be mature? Or you gonna keep acting like a kid? And she was like, why are you trying to talk to me like you're grown? Like you've been working here forever. You're a little kid and you're not grown. And I just was like, okay, are you gonna be mature or not? Like, you still yapping. I was like, you the one that was sitting up mad about a joke. And she was like, a joke? I was like, yeah. And then she was like, I didn't know you were joking. And then like her whole just everything changed. She was like, I didn't know you were joking. I didn't know that it was a joke. When A came to me, she made it seem like you were talking about me. Then I was like, no, I was laughing when I said it. And then ironically, A had opened the door when she was in the middle of saying that, and she like peeked her head in. And I was like, hey, did I not laugh when I said what I said to you earlier? She was like, yeah, you were laughing. And I was like, okay then, I don't see how that got twisted into something else. I was clearly like, it was clearly a joke. And I even said it to you too. I turned to M and I was like, I literally said it to you too. And she was like, I didn't really hear that. She was like, I just heard what A had told me. And she was like, she made it seem like you were talking about me. But she was like, it's whatever. Just let's leave it alone and leave it at that. I didn't know you were joking. I just was told that you were talking about me. And I was like, no. If I was talking about you, I would have like, you know, said it to you, which I did. Because I did tell her like, you lost or something. But it was, like I said, it was a joke. It wasn't like I was talking about her. But she just kept going, just kept apologizing over and over again. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that you were annoying. You're not annoying. Like, I really like you. I've been liking you from the jump. Like, I really enjoy working with you. You're really cool. I was just like, okay, get the fuck away from me. Get away from me right now. Like, for I called the cops. Get away from me. Like, she just kept talking. And I just was like, okay, great for you. I'm glad you got that off your chest. Good. I was like, I said, I don't care, you know, miscommunication, whatever. And then what's weird is that like later that day, she literally texted me. I'm gonna put it on the screen. She texted me and she just still was going. Just like, you know, I'm sorry about earlier. I wasn't trying to be a bitch. Da, 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 da. Okay. I was just like, you know, it was a misunderstanding, this, whatever. And, you know, yeah, you was kind of like a bitch, but whatever. Like, I even said, like, from the beginning, you was giving, like, bitch vibes, but whatever. And she was like, oh, no, I was not trying to be like that. I'm so sorry. And it was just, I was just like, okay. Okay, I don't care. I don't like you. I don't care. So I'm thinking that's it. Like, that's the end of it. She still was just, like, doing little petty stuff after that still. We had like community lotion. Like, it was lotion on a dresser where everybody could get the lotion. Like, when I first started, I was told I could use it or whatever. And we had a lint roll in the break room. So in the mornings, I would use the lotion and I'll put a little dab on my hand. Bro, I'm blank, come on. I would use a little on my hands and then I would use the lint roller on my uniform to get the lint off or whatever. So this probably happened like maybe 3-4 days after that schedule situations had happened. She gonna say something. Like, I was using the lotion and she gonna say something. I just smell my lotion. Who used my lotion? Mind you, like, I literally just put it in my hands and I was rubbing it in. And I'm just like, I know you see me rubbing this lotion in. So I ain't even say nothing because you see me. Like, what was the point of even asking who put it on? Me. You see me rubbing it in. So here go A talking about something. I think, she said my name, but she was like, I think Nessa had put it on. I think Nessa got it on. And I'm just standing there like, you see me rubbing it in, like what? And she was like, oh, okay, because I just smelled somebody using my lotion. I'm just trying to see, everybody's just gonna use my lotion all the way up. Hold up, because don't make it seem like I just need your lotion. You could hear, And then, like I said, I was using that lint roller too. Man, she gonna go in there as I'm using lint roller, gonna say, dang, y'all just gonna use my lint roller up. Y'all gonna use it up. It's not gonna be none left. How you gonna buy something for everybody to use, then complain when they use it? And then you only specifically saying it when I use it. Like, okay, if you don't want me to use it, just say that. I went and I grabbed my own stuff from my car and brought it in my bag and used it from that point forward. I swear on everything, because you're not about to do that. And then it was another instance where, and I got a child, so I would pump. I would, express that milk. So they would let me go into the break room to pump or whatever. Why this bitch, M, every time I'm pumping, she would leave the door wide open. And so, of course, the doctors would see me just in there. And they think I'm just sitting there not doing nothing. And, like, at a point, the manager had even, like, said something to me about it. How y'all gonna get mad at me because I'm pumping? Like, what the fuck you want me to do? Go to my car? And I said that I was telling the manager, you want me to go to my car or something? And she was just like, oh, no. And then M was like, just make it seem like you're doing something. You are the one who's leaving the door wide open. That's why they even said something to me in the first place. If you would have just closed the door, they wouldn't even say nothing. Like, girl, why did you even, like, what was the point of that? And then, like, the last thing that happened between us was basically we got these machines we got these machines, they call autoclave. So basically, you put the tools that we used in procedures, you put the tools, you brush them off, shake them off, and then you put them in a package. The package is pink when you first put them in, and once you run it through the autoclave, the machine, it comes out gray. It takes 30 minutes for the machine to dry after it sterilizes those tools. So I was mainly like the person that would keep the rooms clean and do the lab. And sometimes I would be in procedures like working, but most of the time I was in the lab. So I had my own little thing that I did. And what I would do is I would package up the tools or whatever, and they would be pink, obviously. And then I would put them in the machine, let it run. And as the 30 minutes, while the 30 minutes was counting down on the machine, I would put those tools away and put the non-sterile ones back in the machine. So basically, I put the pink tools in the machine, let it start, and then I would, while it was drying, I would take them out, put them away, and put some more pink tools in and wait till it's done drying and just click start. It just was an easy way for me to just constantly still be having something to do, so I won't just be standing around. That was just how I had it. Just the one that used to be a lead, L, that used to be back here as a lead in the back with us, she moved to the front. She had even told me that it was okay to do that. But one day, this was definitely probably like a week, maybe 2 weeks after that situation had happened. And I was doing what I usually do, just doing the tools and stuff like that. And I was also doing gauze packets, which is the same thing as the tools, but it's just gauze instead of tools. I was putting gauze in the package, putting them in the machine, running it, waiting 30 minutes, dumping the gauze into a bucket. We had a bucket for the gauze so we could give them to the patients. So I was just doing that all day, doing gauze packets and doing the tools. And so as I'm doing that, I had just finished running some gauze packets, and I put some non-sterile ones in. So I put some more pink packets in the machine, and I was waiting for the dryer thing to count down. So it was like it had 15 minutes left, and then V asked me if I wanted to go work on a procedure in her room. So I was like, sure. So I went back there into her room, and when I came back towards like the lab, I'm seeing A dump the sterile gauze onto the counter, like the ones that's already gray onto the counter. So I'm like, what are you doing? And she was like, well, actually these aren't sterile. She was like, some of them weren't finished. Like, I was like, did you take the ones that was in the machine and dump them into that bucket? Because those weren't done. I was waiting till the machine was done drying, and then I just could click start. And all you have to do is look at the package to see if it's pink or gray. Pink means it's not sterile. Gray means that it's sterile. Common sense. So A was just like, she was like, I didn't do it. She was like, I just noticed that it was some pink ones in the bucket, so I took them out. And so here come M walking up, and she was like, most people don't just look at the package. She was like, if you see that it's drying on the machine, you just gonna assume that it's done. And I was like, common sense will tell you to check the packaging before you just put it away. That's what I would think, because that's what I do. I usually double check everything before I put it up anyway. And M was like, well, I don't do that. And so A was just like, from now on, just put a sticky note on the machine saying that these aren't sterile or something, so nobody will dump them out. And I just was like, okay. And I just left it at that. Even though in my mind, I'm like, bro, why y'all can't just use common sense and just look at the packaging? Y'all making it more difficult putting the little sticky notes on there when y'all could just look. But I was just like, okay, all right, cool. Like, okay. So I just left it at that. So literally like a couple minutes later, everybody was like in the hallway, like A, H, V, me, and M. We was like all standing in the hallway. And so M was like, well, since we're all here now, she was like, from now on, when tools are in the machine, we need to wait till the machine is fully dry before we put non-sterile tools in there. So she was like, we can no longer, basically, you can't, once it's sterile, like once you put the tools in there and they sterilize, you need to wait till it's done drying for them 30 minutes before you take them out and put them away and put some new ones in there. So nobody said nothing. Like everybody just was kind of like standing there like, okay. So I just stood there and I was getting ready to just walk off. And then she like, mind you, I was standing there the whole time. Like I heard her and like I was looking at her when she said it. I mean, because she obviously said that because of me. So when she could have just talked to me one-on-one instead of doing all that. But okay. So she turned and she was like, she said my name and she was like, Nessa, do you hear me? Bitch, the fuck? I was like, I'm standing right here, ain't I? And she was like, okay. She was like, I just was saying. Like, bitch, I got fucking ears, ho. Like, what the fuck? You thought I didn't fucking hear you? Like, I'm not standing right here? Like, dummy, I heard you. Like, it just irritated me because I already didn't like the girl. So anything she said to me just irritated me. Like, after that schedule situation, I really just did not like her. Like, I tried to, like, you know, be professional still and deal with her, but I could not stand her. So when she did that, it really just, like, irritated me. And then my manager wound up coming back there, and she was just like, M was like, I need to talk to you about something. I need to talk to you. And then they went off and talked. And they probably talked about me. I don't know. I don't care. That was that. And then after that situation, I wound up getting sick. Like, I was sick like that Friday. I had like this stomach bug. And then I had to call off of work because of me being sick. And then like the week after that, my doggone son got sick. And he had a fever. It was like 100, 101. It was bad. Like, his daycare wouldn't even take him. So, you know, of course, you know, I had to call out again. So it was on me for why they let me go. I ain't saying it had nothing to do with that situation or nothing. And I just didn't like the girl. And she probably was saying stuff to them too that made them let me go. But after that, you know, after me having to call out that time, you know, they just was like, I think like 2 hours after I called off that day, they sent me like an email basically just like, we're letting you go, best regards, da da da. So then I text my manager like, dang, y'all just letting me go because my baby was sick. And she was like, no, it was because you called out last Friday and this time, and then you were late a few times. And I was just like, all right. I think I was late like a few times, but only because, you know, something like my son daycare, they was sitting there talking to me about something or something stupid like that. Or like, it was one day it was raining real bad and I couldn't see, and I was there, but it was raining real bad, and I like texted her and I was like, I'm outside, but it's just, can the rain slow down a little bit before I walk in there? But I guess they still counted as me being late. I don't know. I feel like I was doing my job. Like, I was like, I don't know. I can't really speak for how they seen me, but I didn't really talk like that. I didn't really mess with them. In my opinion, I was like a hard worker. I didn't go crazy only because I was new. I didn't know how to do everything, but I would do things that I did know how to do. Like if something with the schedule or something like that. Sometimes I would double check and like ask them like this is what you want me to do, are you sure, like stuff like that. And V had said one thing one time, like, that's a dumb question, don't ask that. Like, all right, my bad for double checking myself. Like stuff like that. Like they just was kind of like, they would all just kind of like say like rude stuff sometimes. Not all of them, because H, like I ain't even brought her up. Like she was the fourth girl. She never really did nothing. She was pretty decent to me. She never did nothing to me. It was just kind of like H, she seemed fake to me. I would have conversations with her here and there. Like I liked her at first, but then kind of like after that situation with M, kind of like didn't really like her too much after that. And V, I thought she was cool, but like, you know, she was okay. And it was really just M. Like that was the one I just did not like. But honestly, lesson learned, you know, don't be, moral of the story, don't be late to work. I would say stand up for yourself. My mom told me I should have like reported the white girl, but I didn't. I feel like I should have did that. If y'all feel like y'all getting harassed at work or something, definitely report it. Don't sit there and just let them mess with you. Like, even though it really wasn't that big of a deal to me, I should have definitely reported that girl, because she was definitely messing with me. Like, looking back at it now, she definitely was purposely like bothering me. But yeah, y'all, that was all. That was a quick little story time. I hope it was quick. It probably wasn't, but that was a little story time that I had with the worst coworker. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all think I was tripping. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with me. And let me know what y'all think, you know. Because I personally feel like she was definitely messing with me. And it was a lot of other little stuff that she did. I just can't really remember. But she just was always kind of like nitpicking. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Leave y'all comments. Like the video. Subscribe. You know what they be saying. Subscribe. But all right, y'all, that's all I had to say. Y'all stay tuned. Check in for the next video. Love you guys. Bye.